Welcome to Captured Conversations, a Haley Phillips photography podcast. I am your host, Haley, and here is your co-host, Apollo. Is you being a good boy today? Are you going to sit with us? I may or may not have treats. A treat? I may have bribed him this time to sit because he keeps leaving me, and it makes me very sad. So I have some treats. And then I also have my treat for today, hot chocolate, even though it's kind of warm in my house. That's why I don't have a blanket on today because I'm a little toasty. Oh, also sorry for this video being a little late. My life went a little cray cray, holidays, all that jazz. Oh my gosh, I have my candle backwards. This is hot. I don't even know if y'all can see it. Oh yeah, you can. I don't know if you can tell what it is. It's Santa with his reindeer. Also, my tree is up. Garland. I've got my stuffed animal things. Yeah. This Santa already fell and tried to hit me while I was setting up, so we will see if I get assassinated by a Santa today. Oh, look at your Paolo. He's got a bone under him, too. Paolo, did you have anything you wanted to say today to the people? He says, leave me alone. That's his vibe. Okay, well, I'm going to take a sip of this hot chocolate. It's still pretty hot, which is why the lid's not on it. Ah, yes, nothing like powdered chocolate something and extra marshmallows. I should have also grabbed water. It's all good. Okay, so today I've got some stories to share. Oh, sorry, my Facebook was just really loud in my ear. And that's where we're starting is Facebook. So I'm sure if you're on the internet anywhere, you've been seeing the we listen and we don't judge trend. I wanted to start there. So this is from a Facebook group. Again, when I read stuff from Facebook, I'm not going to give people's names. Reddit, I do say what their Reddit name is, but that's more anonymous. No, stay with me, Apollo. Here, do you want another treat? Am I not bribing you enough? Why don't he sits up here all the time? I swear. Here, look, there's another one. Maybe he's hot, because it is kind of hot in this house. Okay, let's see if that keeps him hanging out for a minute. And there's a bobby pin on my table. Come here. Okay. I don't want to lose that. We'll put it right there. Okay, so back to the we listen and we don't judge photographers edition. So, let's see. The first one, oh yeah, sorry what I was saying. For Reddit, I do give their name or whoever's name, but for Facebook or anything like that I'm reading stories off of where it actually identifies the person, I'm just going to give initials. So, go into the comments of this post. Oh, also, did y'all see his Christmas bandana? It's got little presents and candy canes on it. Anyways, okay, so go into the comments of this post. We've got sometimes from BE. Sometimes I'll tell my clients I'll edit that out and then hate myself for having to edit it out. Yeah, I've learned to not say that anymore because I hated myself too many times to keep doing that. So, but that one's rough. Let's see if there's any noteworthy comments. Tons of people saying literally same. Felt this in my soul. Let's see. LM says, I'll tell couples to just walk around so I can get candid photos when I'm really just trying to think of another pose. I don't think I've done that before, but I've definitely just kind of defaulted to walking photos. Also, if you can see right here on him, you probably can't see. It's super, super fluffy right here, and this is where his undercoat is coming out. So let me just show y'all some husky Christmas magic. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? I need a dark spot. Oh, my couch is dark. Oh, there we go. Yeah, husky Christmas magic right there. I'm going to put that in the floor to sweep up after this podcast, probably. But yeah, do you have a go-to? Comment down below if you have a go-to pose or something that you do when your mind goes blank. Because if you say your mind's never gone blank, you're an absolute liar. Hate to say it, but you're a liar. But I definitely do that. And it's not so much and I hate this misconception. I feel like newbies, even when I was new, I would be like, oh my gosh, what is my next pose? They can't know that I don't know right off the bat what the next pose is. I literally just screenshot poses. Paulo, don't leave me. Okay, you want to leave? Fine, go. Be free. We're left all alone. Okay. Anyways, um, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so newbies. Okay, literally what I do is I go through sessions I've shot, like before a session, I'll go through photos I've taken, maybe get some new inspo online. I kind of think like it's the couple, like what they look like. Like is there a big height difference? Are they a bigger couple? Are they is the woman taller than the man? I look at different things about them. And I also kind of look like at them if I know anything about them. 99% of the time I do. There's a few times where I'm like, I don't even know what these people look like. Um, that's rare. I do typically ask for a picture. Um, but I just have them on my phone. I tell them like, hey, I've got a list on my phone of things they're doing. I've actually sometimes, if I'm having a hard time communicating with my couple what I want them to do, or anyone I'm taking pictures of, I'll say, this is what I'm wanting to do. And I'll show them the inspo pic. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. That helps. Thank you. Um, so don't be afraid. I've never had anyone be like, that's not very professional. I'm still doing my job. I'm just using my resources wisely. Let's see. Remember, this is we listen and we don't judge. Um, okay. This one I've done. JN says sometimes when a session is so bad, I take multiple business days to start the editing process because I don't want to relive the session. Yeah, I've done that. And not really like the photos are bad. For me, it's more like if the lighting wasn't the best, like it just wasn't like the editing. Usually when I get home, I'll go and like start figuring out like what how I want to edit this and like if I have a preset that'll help me like get started and stuff. There are some I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is going to take forever." Sometimes if people have like a lot of acne, I get a little bogged down because it's just so much tedious little work. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, is this ever going to be over?" Um, but sometimes I just have a hard time getting started if the session isn't like super inspiring. Um, it doesn't delay how fast I get photos back, because I deliver everything on time. It's just one of those things where you're like, ugh, this one's not as fun. But sometimes, like, once I find the editing groove, I'm like, this is an amazing session. I love it so much. Like, I am having a ball. So it so depends. Let's see. Remember, we listen and we don't judge. Um, Okay, yeah, I've done this for certain reasons. So KW says sometimes I will tell clients I will look at my books when I get home. In reality, I'm laying in bed watching Netflix or doom scrolling because I don't feel like getting up right that second. Okay, I say this or I say something like this um because I have boundaries in my professional life. Sometimes I will answer like late messages, late emails, late inquiries, stuff like that if I'm not doing anything. But if I'm like with my husband or if I'm out with friends or if I'm just like taking some me time, I sometimes and it's okay to don't want to stop what I'm doing and be like, "Oh, I have to answer this immediately." No, I'll say, "Hey, when I get home," or "Hey, I'm not able to look at my dates right now, but when I am able to, I will get back with you." Um or if I'm sick, I'm not feeling good, I'll say, hey, I'm not able to look at my books right now. As soon as I'm able to, I'll get back with you to you with some dates. Um, I don't think that's bad. I think it's just boundaries. Having boundaries. And when you work from home, sometimes like, yeah, I could say, hey, I'm off the clock right now. That just kind of, because you could. You could. I just find it better to put a boundary that is more understandable in place. Disagree with me in the comments or agree with me in the comments. I'd love to know how you feel about that. Let's see if anybody has a comment to that one. Literally everybody's just saying same, 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 same. This person, SR says plot twist. I don't even have a book. I was like, that's funny. Um, okay, let's see. SH says, if one of the sessions isn't in focus and a little blurry, but I still love the photo, I make it black and white, add a little grain for effect. I haven't done this, but I do know that there are a lot of people who do this. All right. That's hilarious. Okay, BG says, after I've gotten enough dancing photos at a reception, I start hitting the blue flash button instead of actually taking photos. Yeah, I don't need like 600 and something photos of you dancing. Do I take that many? Probably. Probably. I mean, I don't know about 600, but you know what I mean. Like, I take so many photos during a reception. I don't need all of those. You don't need all of those. Um, Everyone's like literally same, literally same. Um, I don't really do this. Like, once I've gotten the pictures, I just kind of like hang around the background. I watch the couple. If something starts happening, I jump in. Once I've gotten pictures of pretty much, depending on the dance floor, I'm thinking of yesterday's wedding. Um, I kind of like hang around. Once I've gotten pictures of like the people who have been dancing for a while, people on the dance floor, try to get a picture of everybody depending on the wedding. This was a wedding of about 100 people, and there were probably 30 people dancing, maybe. Get pictures of those different groups dancing. I just kind of hang around the background. I'll eat some cake, finish eating my dinner because sometimes I haven't finished eating my dinner. Get something to drink. Um, and I just kind of hang around. I'm often really like yesterday's wedding watching for the groom to come in because the bride often is dancing a lot. The groom, not always. So when he comes in, then I will pop back up and take more pictures because it's less of an opportunity. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how I am. I, it's not good for you or me because it's going to take me longer to go through photos and it's going to waste time on me getting photos back to you if I take too many pictures. So yeah. And we listen and we don't judge. Okay. Um, let's see. BH says, I really do be waiting for the last minute to edit galleries. I don't do this often. There are sometimes, like, if I'm super busy and I have to, like, crunch edit, and I'm like, I've got to get these pictures out. And I'm like, have to get in that focus zone that I am kind of waiting till the last minute. Um, it happens. Sometimes the last minute is the only minute. When I'm editing a gallery, I try to work in pockets, if that makes sense. So I will edit, like, say, okay, let's just give a wedding because that's a really good example. So, like, when I'm editing, I'll be like, okay, so I send a highlight gallery of a few moments from each part of the day. And then I go back and start editing. I'll be like, okay, let's do all of the brides getting ready pictures. Or I'll be like, okay, let's do all the detail pictures. Edit those. Check. Okay. Then do all the brides. Check. And then do all the grooms. Check. And then I kind of do it in pockets. So I'm not like, let's just edit until I don't want to anymore. I set myself a realistic, measurable goal. That's key for life. If you want to get anything done, you have to have a realistic and measurable goal. But sometimes it's, oh my gosh, I have to edit everything right now. That happens more with portrait sessions, especially like October through December because so many people are last minute booking. That was probably annoying. I'm so sorry for my snapping. But yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, I've so been here. Listen, we listen and we don't judge. I like this trend because so many people are saying things they feel like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. But it's like, me too, sometimes. Um, MN says, I dread going to every single session until I get there, even though I sincerely love doing it once I get there. Literally same. I can't tell you how many times I've shown up at a session where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. I just want to go home. I think part of it's like the social anxiety, where I'm kind of like anxious, like, oh, what if like this doesn't go well? Which it always goes well. I don't know. There's a part of me is like, what if they don't like me? Or what if something happened? Nothing's ever happened. But that's anxiety. Um, but yeah, I feel that just the having to get out, running, because it is like I'm like moving the whole time I'm shooting, whether it's a portrait session or a wedding. I am moving, and so like it's a lot, but I love it. As soon as I start going, I'm like, hee, love it. All right. Oh my gosh, I so do this. Sometimes. So let me read the comment, then I'll explain. AA sorry, AL says, I way overestimate my gallery delivery times to my clients so that when I deliver them 2 weeks early, they brag about how I got them done earlier than expected. Okay, that's just a good business tip. Let's see, under promise, over deliver. That's a good business tip right there. I do try to do this. I try to do this a lot. But it also gives me time if something does happen. If there are a lot of holidays, if something happens in my family, if I get sick, for whatever a reason maybe that put me behind me delivering early, I can still get things out on time without having to like, hey, client. Um, yeah. So that happens. That also feels kind of like boundaries too. So you're not having to like rush yourself up to the last minute. So I love that. CR says, I haven't seen any of my lens caps since 2016 at least. I love that. I have never actually lost a lens cap. Never. I've broken one lens cap on my beginner camera. On one of the kit lenses, I dropped it doing pictures and it kind of broke so it doesn't like spring open anymore. But it's still technically, I still have that camera and lens and it's in the bag that it came in and it's just kind of resting on top just to kind of protect it from dust and stuff. Um, I've actually never lost a lens cap though. I don't think. There's a good chance I may have lost some of the screw ends, like the back ends, that screw into the camera. But I, for some reason, had extra. I don't know where they came from. If I bought something one time and they came with extra, or maybe I haven't used those. I really don't know. But I'm surprised because I literally lose everything. But I think it's because literally when I am shooting, I take the lens cap off, and then when I'm done taking that picture, I put the lens cap on. If we're walking, my lens cap is going back on. I am so big. Now, have I dropped it? Yes. My husband comes with me to weddings often, and he has brought me lens caps before. I would have noticed it was missing and started retracing my steps and hopefully found it, but that's also helpful. All right, let's see. Um, I've been here. Okay. KC says, sometimes I don't hate it when people reschedule. I'm like, yes. That has happened a few times. I don't get reschedules very often. But when they do, sometimes I'm like, oh, dang it. If it's a weekday session, I'm more likely to be that. Weekend sessions, I'm like, yes, free Saturday, something. Um, And so, because usually I'm like have a session in the evening, so I'm doing stuff all day and I'm having to stop doing whatever that is to go to my session, which is totally fine. Um, but yeah, I can't say I haven't cheered for a reschedule. This person says something I said earlier, GL. Sometimes when I don't feel confident about a session, I'll procrastinate on editing. Yeah, been there. Um, let's see. Oh, I've done this. So MS says sometimes I slide up on stories or posts of pretty people and offer them discounts to let me take their photos. Sometimes that includes other photographers. So I use models a lot, and it's not only like pretty people, just anybody I find interesting that would have a good look. Maybe these people look good in pictures. Maybe these people have a certain vibe that I'm going for. Maybe they have a unique dress, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to use that in pictures. Can you come model in that for me? Maybe they've been to a location I'd wanted to shoot. Like, hey, do you go here often? I would love to take pictures of you here. Um, I do that a lot. I reach out to people. Um, here's my we listen and we don't judge. So sometimes I will like stalk the Instagram pages of like venues and makeup artists and hairstylists and bridal shops and stuff like that and message brides saying like, "Hey, I have a styled shoot coming up. I'm looking for a real couple to model for me. Would you like to do that?" So if you've ever gotten a message from me, it seems very out of the blue. That's probably where it came from. Um, and I have found like most of my models and stuff that way, which is awesome. Okay, but yeah, let's see. I think I talked about this. MS says I don't niche down because I think that's stupid. Yeah. Um, I've talked about this before. I pretty much will shoot anything, um, except for newborns and boudoir. I think that's how you say that. Have I done those in the past? To some degree, yes. Um, but I haven't. Um, I still kind of do newborns. I do like lifestyle sessions. I don't do like wrapping newborns anymore. Um, when I did boudoir, I had somebody shoot it for me, and I did all the editing because boudoir, that's a lot of like specialty stuff to learn. Um, and I would rather just pay somebody that already does it and then edit the pictures in my style. So I just like I did that out to an associate, which was wonderful. It's just not something I offer anymore. So in that way I kind of niched down, but not really. I've shown y'all my website before. Literally, I have tabs for couples and engagements, weddings, families, seniors. Let me just pull up my website. So, couples and engagements and couples, weddings, destination weddings, graduates, maternity, families, and then other sessions, which could be literally anything: proms, birthday parties, spontaneous fun photo shoots, headshots. I don't really do a lot of studio work. When I do stuff in a studio, it's more lifestyle like. But yeah, no, I can agree. Okay, here's a good one. I had a couple tell me a pose they wanted to do. I said, perfect, that's so cute. When indeed it was not cute, it was awkward. Yeah, I've had a few that happen a few times. And sometimes I will try poses, be like, hey, let's do this one. And I might not deliver that one because maybe it didn't work well. Maybe it didn't work well with their body style. Maybe it didn't work well with their height. Maybe it just, some people are a little more fluid than others. So, and some people are more stiff. And so I try a little bit of both, and sometimes certain things work out, sometimes they don't. Clients have surprised the heck out of me sometimes, where they're like, here, how about this? And they do something, and I'm like, that was amazing. Um, but other times I'm like, oh, that was so cute, love it. And I'm like, I really wish that was cute. It was not cute. That doesn't happen often, though. Or what's funny is I'll be shooting, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that was so cute. Or you're good, and then I check it. And I'm like, probably should check it first before I say you're good. Um, but yeah. All right, let's see what's next. Before I read this one, I've never in my life done this. I don't drink, so I really wouldn't do this. I mean, every now and then maybe I'll have a drink. Um, this person, listen, again, we don't judge. We listen and we don't judge. We're going to have to read some comments on this one probably, though. Okay, so J.E. says, I was nearly blackout drunk at a cake smash session because I completely forgot about it and was at a neighborhood party. Everyone is just laughing, saying like, LOL, that's hysterical. Oh, she comments and said, luckily it was a returning client that I know from church. She said that in capitals. So there's that. I was like, oh my gosh. Someone asked, how did the photos turn out? She said they turned out pretty good. For the time of day and the lighting in my studio. Um, Someone asked if they noticed, and she's like, if they did, they didn't say anything. Let's see. The fact that you didn't post this anonymous means you are the goat. And then she was like, I really don't care. I'm like, yeah, that's funny. Oh, this person says, oh my gosh, I did this. Thank gosh it was actually one of my friends. She wrote to me during happy hour at a bar, and I was already 3 margaritas deep, enjoying a Saturday night. She texted me, so I have an outfit, but I may change. I'll let you know when we leave. And I was like, oh my goodness. So my husband had to take me. The photos were bomb. She posted one of these. That is a beautiful photo. That is so pretty. Someone said alcohol doesn't kill the still. That's funny. Okay, this one, I haven't done this. Again, we listen, we don't judge. AF says, I went too hard for 8 months and now I don't want to touch my camera at all. I canceled my last 6 sessions, blamed my toddler for breaking my camera. It sounds like burnout, girl. That is some for real burnout. Take care of yourself. Um, hindsight, you learned boundaries, you learned what your limit is. I'm glad that, I'm glad that you know that now for the future. Hopefully you can reset. Burnout is no joke. I experienced that when I was my first semester of grad school. I was taking 5 classes, which is more than college. In college, I would take 6 or 7 classes, no problem. I took 5 classes and thought I was going to die. I also got married that semester, and I was shooting 1 or 2 weddings probably almost every single weekend that fall. Um, Also traveled to Orlando to shoot a wedding at Disney and Universal the weekend before I got married. Um, it was actual insanity. After that, I was burnt out to the point where I was like scared to go back to school, like panic attack scared to go back to school. Um, which luckily that was in the fall, so it was like a good reset during off season for photography. But oh yeah, and then right after that, I got COVID and was home for 2 weeks straight. And you would think that'd be relaxing, but it wasn't. And then when I went back to school, it was all online for 2 weeks. So I didn't leave my house for like a month. It was a disaster. Okay, let's switch gears here to another thread. So this is on Facebook again, and TG says, I'd love to hear people's rude slash crazy bridal party stories. I had a wedding recently. One of the bridesmaids treated me like garbage the entire day, like way less of a person than her, shooing me away, rolling their eyes, making comments all day, etc. Just generally super mean to only me. To start the day, I was doing photos of the girls in their matching PJs. I suggest we go out front. Um, Sorry. I suggested we go outside in front of some rose bushes because the suite was essentially a closet. As we're headed out, she's saying, come on, let's hurry up and get this over with while giving the get out of the way, like she's shooing me away hands, like, come on. I was like, okay. It seems so rude and odd. Yeah, that's a no bueno. That's no good. Let's see. LM says, I've had this happen and I stopped in the middle of photographing and said, your behavior is making me uncomfortable right now. Today is not about you, it's about bride's name, and I'm here to serve her. They had a powwow and came back with a better attitude. Kudos to you for setting a boundary. I want to say, I would say something like, hey, you good? Like, hey, what's going on? I've had groomsmen be rude and I usually don't say anything. Um, no, I've said something one time that I can think of. It's not often, but it does happen. Um, let's see. Uh, BR says, I had one do the exact same thing to me while my assistant was coordinating a wedding. She kicked us out of the bridal suite. We were not in any photos and we couldn't do things we typically were doing, like help steam. And when they needed something, they had to come find us. It was definitely awkward. To be clear, we make it our goal to blend into the background and stay out of the way and stay out of the photographers and videographers' way, but stay close to assist when needed. I'm assuming this is a coordinator. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Weird. Oh yeah, assisting me while coordinating a wedding. I was not listening to what I was even saying. Um, yeah, I don't really like that. If someone kicked me out of a bridal suite, I'd be like, I would just go talk to the bride. If that's what the bride wanted, okay, she can deal with the consequences of that then, and having her day kind of interrupted by people having to come find me and such. Okay, let's see. LB says, planner here. I recently had a maid of honor test my kindness. I sent out an email for timeline meeting. She had a question that I didn't get back to until 2 days later because my dad was in the hospital, which the couple knew. I sent out the timeline before responding to her email as I made it my priority to let everyone know about the changes. She was so snarky in her response, which she sent 5 minutes after I sent my email. I knew she completely ignored the apology about why I was delayed, and I just wanted and just wanted to be a witch towards me. Bride trying Bride tried sticking up for her, and both tried to say the man of honor didn't know my dad was in the hospital. I stood my ground and said, even if my dad was in the hospital, I don't deserve to be treated like garbage. I gave nothing no cares about the wedding party because there's always a jealous and ingenuine bridesmaid slash maid of honor who needs to make it about themselves. It's not your wedding, girl. Go sit down, be humble. I've reminded the couple that I have a no harassment policy. If anything happened on the wedding day, I would walk out. They did not like that at all, but I don't care. Typing this out boiled my blood. Yeah, I felt the boiling my blood energy as I was reading that. Why can't we just be kind? Treat others how you want to be treated. Be understanding. No, we're not always perfect. Have I done things? Probably, absolutely, because I'm not perfect. That have hurt people's feelings? Yeah. But like, try. Try and be a kind, understanding person. Okay, I read the first line of this. This is a pretty good one. EE says, in my early wedding days, I had a groomsman wait until I was taking the photo and made sure to flip off the camera in every group photo he was in, or in every photo he was in. I had a bridesmaid once complain about everything I was doing, from fluffing the bride's skirt to not to her liking, not giving her direction when the group wasn't ready to be directed yet, and was super rude with her attitude and the look she gave me. Frankly, if no one else was complaining and everyone seemed happy, I just assumed that they're either stressed or a Debbie Downer. Wedding stress can really bring out the worst sides of people. Try not to let it bother you and keep crushing it in the meantime. Yeah, okay, so I want to go back to this groomsman. I have had people try to do that kind of stuff, just like try to flip off in every photo. I'm like, dude, can we like get done here, please? I want to be done. I want to be done. I want you to leave so you can go and do your wedding things. Can we stop? Or like every photo's like bunny ears or like flipping me off. And I'm like, that irritates me. Bridesmaid complaining about everything. That's super annoying. I've never personally had that happen. It seems like that's a common thing that happens, but I've actually never had that happen. Most of my bridesmaids are pretty chill, or they're just like not helpful at all. And like taking extra time for themselves and making it about themselves. But never about like towards me or anything. Okay, so switching to a new thread now. This is still on Facebook. From SS Photography. I won't say the name of the photography studio or the photography company. If you could tell newer photographers one thing to make sure they have, what would it be? I love some good advice. Let's see. JY says, it doesn't matter what people say on social media or think about your business. It's your business. You have boundaries with your clients and especially your family. Agreed. CD says, not every client is your client and you're not the right photographer for every person, and that's okay. Absolutely. I have directed clients to other photographers or to where they could find a photographer before when I just kind of realized we're probably not a good matchup. Or like if they're wanting a specific style or just something about the day, I'm like, this feels out of my wheelhouse. Or this just really isn't what I do. I'm going to refer out. Let's see. What's next? I agree with this. AI, find a friend or family member that allows you to practice on them regularly. Yeah, I did most of my first sessions with family members. The first wedding I ever took a couple pictures at was my cousin Katie's wedding. And I did some senior pictures for my cousin Paige while we were at the beach. And that was so long ago. And those photos, if I took them now, I would probably be fired. I mean, they were cute, but they were not like up to standard what I do now. Yeah. I literally didn't even have Lightroom then. I was editing and when I took pictures at my cousin Katie's wedding, she had a photographer, but she also wanted me to take a few pictures for her as well. Because they eloped. So their photographer was only there for like a little bit of time. And so I did like their reception when we got home too. Anyways, just to clarify that. It was something that was allowed. Um, Yeah, I was literally at that time literally just editing in like photos on my computer. Like I didn't have Lightroom. I didn't have a single editing software, nothing. Next advice, AP said solid contracts. Absolutely. Don't take pictures of anybody without a contract unless you're doing it, not a part of your business. at all. And you don't care at all what they do with the pictures. No different if you took a picture on your phone and sent it to them. Because I've done that, you know. But yeah, I'd make my own brother sign a contract. Like, we're not messing around at all. Okay, let's see. PC says community. There's always clients for everyone, and seeing other photographers as community and not competition. And see photographers as community, not competition. Connect with others. I've learned a lot from working with other photographers, building community, etc. I agree. I get referrals from other photographers, like especially if they're booked or if they have a client that's like, oh, I think like Haley would be a better fit. People refer to me. I refer to other people. I use other photographers' studios. Like there's so much that goes on. A real simple one, but a real good one. BM says a full frame camera. 100%. Full frame, dual SD for everything. I really liked a lot of those. There's probably so many things I could say um, to a new photographer, and maybe I just need to make a whole video about that. If that's something that y'all think I should make, let me know. I know there's like a billion videos out there about like new photographers, how to start in photography. So, I may just be a pin in a bucket, but if that is something y'all would like to see, let me know. All right, let's go on to something else. Let's see. I've just been saving stuff so I can just go back to it. Okay, here's a good one. On Facebook still from AE. How do I break up with one of my brides? Context. I'm commenting on a Facebook post of hers looking for a photographer. Or I commented on a Facebook post of her looking for a photographer. She messaged me. We had a call, which she did really take very seriously. Um, and she wanted to book. I sent her the contract and the invoice, and she took about 2 weeks to sign it. It's been over a month, and I still have no retainer. She said her father in law is going to pay, and she was waiting on him. Well, we started tossing around ideas for her engagement session, and she only ever answers my messages about every 2 weeks. We will be talking about when we will be talking about her engagement session, and then she'll just ghost me for a few weeks. And then she'll respond with something completely off topic and leaving my questions unanswered for her. She lives about 2 hours away. I don't think she's a good fit. I want to go about this the right way since my business is still new and I want to be respectful, but there are just so many red flags. I do not see it going well if we stick with the wedding. What would you do? Okay, if this was me, I usually will follow up. If someone doesn't answer me, I'll follow up a couple times and that's it. Um, I would probably every time she reaches out about something, I'd be like, "Hey, I just wanted to remind you, you are not booked. Someone can still book your date." I think before we discuss any more details about the engagement session as such, we should probably get you booked first. I'd hate for someone to take your date and then all of your time be wasted. Um, so, yeah, let's see what other people say. SL says, I read that she hasn't paid the retainer. I would send her a message like this. Hey, bride's name. I really enjoyed chatting with you about your day. I appreciate you taking the time to share some of your vision with me. Bookings are not finalized and your date is not held until retainers are collected. I see that yours has remained unpaid since X date due to demand and other factors. I will have to recommend that we part ways. I hope you have a beautiful wedding. Again, thank you for your consideration. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, no, I like that. TK says, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to follow up with you in regarding your wedding photography. I've reflected on our communications and the overall process so far. I realize I may not be the best fit for your special day. It's incredibly important to me to ensure that every couple I work with feels fully supported and aligned with my services, and I feel like you deserve a photographer who can better meet your needs and expectations. I truly appreciate the opportunity to connect and discuss your wedding plans, and I want to give you plenty of time to find someone whose style and approach match exactly what you're envisioning. If you'd like, I'd be happy to refer you to a few photographers who may be a great fit. Thank you again for considering me to capture your special, an important milestone. Wishing you the best with your wedding planning and beyond. I love that. That's awesome. Okay, so the OP AE commented and said, okay, this is helpful. This is what I scheduled to send her this morning. So, like, on certain platforms, you can schedule for when a message goes out. The last message I sent her asking for her to get back with me if she was interested in a location for her engagement photos. I still haven't heard anything since November 7th. And this, I don't know when this post was from 2 weeks ago, and it is December 13th today. So it was like the end of November. She also said her family member was putting the retainer down on that day and it never happened. So here's the message she sent. Hi, person. She has a name blocked out. Hi, bride. It has been wonderful chatting with you and learning more about your wedding day and your vision for it. It's now been 4 weeks since I sent over the contract and invoice. As outlined in the contract, your date could not be fully reserved until I receive the 25% retainer. Until the 25% retainer is paid. At this time, I have another couple interested in booking that day, and I must kindly advise you to explore other photographers who may be available for your wedding day. I understand this may be disappointing and inconvenient, but I'm unable to continue holding the date. If you would like, I'm happy to recommend another photographer in the area. Thank you for your understanding. I wish you all the best day. So that's an okay response. Hopefully that went well. Anytime in business, I kind of refrain from talking about the negative unless it's brought up. So, like, her whole line, I understand this may be disappointing and inconvenient. You're putting that in her head. I would have left that part out. I would have just said, if you'd like, I'm happy to recommend you to others. Yeah. There was a few things in there I might not have said, but hey, if it worked, it worked. Let's see if anyone... Yeah, this person's KA says, I probably wouldn't say about the retainer or another couple. If you don't want her to book, she may go, I can pay now and save the date. Your best option is to say what another lady said. The one I read right before this. I agree, her response was better. AE, the original poster. So true. The only thing I worry about is sending that is her saying I failed to provide her what she needs. Instead of making it clear I'm parting ways because she did not comply with her end, I'm scared she'll come back on me, saying I didn't meet her expectations. I feel like they'd just be fine. At any point, anybody could get mad at you for anything. You have to set boundaries. But yeah, I just wanted to read that little story. Found that one. There's a lot of comments, but a lot of them kind of just keep reiterating the same thing. Okay, so I want to bring this episode of Captured Conversations to an end. Got my arms like a little, like, action. Cut, Cut. We're cutting this episode. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you made it this far, comment a Christmas tree emoji so I know that you made it this far. I'm sorry, did you hear that? Apollo is in the floor over there, and he is dreaming, and he went, oh, of course he's not going to do it again. You probably can't hear him anyways, but it's just like, does anyone else's dog do that? Anyways, comment. I asked y'all to let me know a few things during this video, so tell me about those things that I asked about, and if you made it this far, comment a Christmas tree emoji. Yeah, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye.